So I asked ChatGPT, what are the top 3 reasons businesses fail before they even get started? And guess what? The main reason wasn't finances, and it affects everyone in every industry. In this video, I'm going to talk about all of the reasons that most businesses fail, because in 2025, with all these crazy changes that are happening, the success of your business is vital to how comfortably you'll be able to live in the current economy and during all the things that are to come. So if you're already telling yourself that this information isn't for me, or I don't need to hear this, then this is definitely for you, because unfortunately, skipping out on this information could lead your business to be one of those statistics. So let's talk about the top 2 reasons that ChatGPT gave and break down some of the sub reasons for more detail. And also, if you are trying to get some credit cards to build your personal credit up for funding, or maybe you need to look for some business credit cards that are going to be perfect for you, I have a link down below where you'll answer a few questions and you'll actually be given a list of cards that match your credit profile. You can check that link down below in the description. So let's talk about the top 2 reasons that ChatGPT gave. And it said, while financial challenges are often cited as primary reasons for small business failures, emerging research suggests that mindset issues such as fear of failure, cognitive inertia, and we'll get into that, and burnout also play significant roles. So let's talk about that. Fear of failure. A study by Startup Snapshot indicates that 42% of entrepreneurs identify fear of failure as a major source of stress. And I know this isn't hard to imagine, because most business owners, when they're about to get started, they are going into unknown territory. They really don't fully know what they're getting themselves into. I know when I first got started in business, I had a whole degree in business, and I still didn't fully understand what I was getting myself into, because things did not play out as easily as I thought they might have. And I saw that there was definitely some information that I was not aware of, even from getting my degree. And not having that steady income that you might be used to from a W-2, and knowing that you're doing what everybody else does to earn income, it can be very stressful and it can be very scary, and it can lead to you feeling the fear of failure. And you're probably going to have people in your ear who have never done this before either, telling you that you're likely to fail as well, and that you should probably just stick with your 9-to-5 job. And of course, all of that helps to promote this fear of failure. Now let's talk about cognitive inertia. It says that this refers to the tendency to stick with existing beliefs or strategies despite changing circumstances. This rigidity can prevent business owners from adapting to market shifts, leading to strategic missteps and potential failure. So cognitive inertia is really saying that you want to just stick with what you've already believed, the things that you've already thought, and maybe strategies that you've already used to approach problems, even though you're going into a new realm of business, which is not like most things that anybody has ever dealt with before. You know, a company as big as Blockbuster used to be ended up failing because they wanted to hold on to their old strategy and beliefs on how they should operate their business, even though things like Netflix and Redbox were arising to change the landscape, because they did not adapt to that change and they wanted to hold on to what they were used to thinking. They ended up ultimately failing, and we see who prevailed. In business, when you operate in a way that you maybe have adopted from your 9-to-5 lifestyle, or from the people closest to you who are not business owners, who don't understand how operating a business works versus how most people are doing things, and just that stubborn in yourself wanting to hold on to all of those ways of thinking, can really hinder you within your business. And then we have burnout. That's pretty easy to understand, but it says here the entrepreneur journey often demands long hours and high stress, contributing to burnout. And another part of that is because, maybe you're holding on to those beliefs that you had on how you think things should be within business. And because things aren't working out that way, there's some resistance there. And maybe there are some failures that are happening along the way. Maybe some things aren't going the way that you thought they would go. And then that's ultimately leading you to stress, and that brings you to a quicker position of being burnt out. And mind you, again, all of these 3 things that we talked about so far are just dealing with mindset and how you are looking at things, and how those things create this resistance that causes problems that can lead to your business ultimately failing. Now, outside of mindset, I'm pretty sure you know that the number two reason most businesses fail is due to finances. But most business owners think that that's just tied to not having enough money within a business. Here's what ChatGPT said the real issue is around finances in your business. It said that both mindset and finances play a huge role in business success, but mindset is the bigger factor in most cases. Here's why. Mindset controls financial decisions. And many of the financial struggles in business come from mindset issues. So, as we can see here, it's not just about not having enough money. You can have enough money and still have financial struggles within business because of your mindset once again. So, let's talk about some of those mindset issues that are specifically tied to the failures that we see it financially because of our thinking. Okay, we see here fear of failure and perfectionism. Many entrepreneurs get stuck in analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect moment, product, or strategy before launching. This delays action and leads to missed opportunities. Successful founders know that progress beats perfection. If any of you guys are out there waiting for the right moment to jump out there and do what you need to do, then as you can see, that is the number one thing that it listed that's going to lead to an issue because everything is not going to be perfect. And one of my mentors used to say, done beats perfect because perfect never gets done. You have to get out there and take action. You can't be sitting around waiting for things to align because that means you're probably never going to get started because things are never going to align. Things are never going to be perfect. Number two is short-term thinking and instant gratification, which a lot of us suffer from. Some new business owners expect quick results and give up too soon. They underestimate the time, effort, and consistency needed to build momentum. A long-term mindset is key to staying committed through the slow growth periods. And this speaks to what I was talking about a second ago, because you might be expecting things to be quick because you see all these people posting all of these successes and wins online, like they never had to go through a struggle or they never went through any failures to get to where they are. But in most instances, with pretty much all business owners, there are a lot of failures, miscalculations, and things that can go wrong in the beginning. So you have to know that's what comes within business, and you have to be able to be consistent and keep on pushing through. And that's how you get to those successes. Now, this is listed as number three, but this is a really big one too. Scarcity mindset around money and investment. It says many fail because they're afraid to invest in their business, whether in marketing, mentorship, or the right tools. They see expenses as losses instead of investments in growth. Entrepreneurs with a growth mindset understand that strategic spending fuels success. Now, when it comes to most people in business, the last thing that they want to think about is paying for mentorship or a lot of times for the right tools that they need that will help them get to success faster than if they did not spend that money. And I'm going to give you a really good brief example. So what I'm talking about that you are missing out on is the opportunity cost. Most business owners coming into business don't really understand this. And that scarcity mindset usually is going to trump any kind of thinking in this way about opportunity costs and what it costs you to miss out on opportunities because they don't know what it really costs. So I'm going to show you what that looks like really quickly. So let's say you have $8,000, right? You have $8,000 while getting started on your business. Let's say this is all the money that you have in the world, this $8,000. So of course, to you getting started in business, you don't have W-2 income maybe, and you are just thinking, okay, this is what I got to get started. This is what I have to work with. So I need to be really cautious, really careful with this. Or maybe you do have a 9 to 5, but just play along with this scenario. And your goal for your business is to get to $20,000 monthly, right? The problem is you don't necessarily know how to get to that $20,000 a month. You do know there's a bunch of free information online that you're going to go, and look through, but that's really the only way that you have that on how to get to $20,000 a month in whatever your business might be. Just make this apply to your business in your mind as we're going through this. So with your $8,000 that you have and your $20,000 monthly goal, here comes a mentor, a coach that says, hey, I know how to get to $20,000 a month in your business, and I know how to get you there within the next 30 days. So not only does this person know how to get there, this person also knows how to get there quickly And of course, if they know how to get there quickly, they more than likely have gone through this process themselves and they figured it out. And now they're telling you that if you just give them $5,000, then they would be able to teach you how to get to $20,000 a month within the next 30 days. So teaching you how to hit your goal in a quicker time frame than it would take you to figure this out on your own. Or this could be somebody that knows how to take your $8,000 and maybe turn it into $80,000 so that then you would be able to have access to more money than you currently have, of course, because that's 10 times more money than you have. And if you have a business that's inventory based, or you have to have, a lot of equipment or big equipment, or maybe you need to hire some people, or maybe you need to pay for some marketing. Now, instead of you having a limited amount of money that you have to be really careful with, now you have access to 10 times more money than that to do those things that you need to do and grow your business faster. Either way, this person is coming along and saying, hey, give me 5,000 of your 8,000, and then I will help you get to your goal faster than you will be able to do on your own. Now, as you can see, in the entrepreneur's mindset, with the scarcity mindset, it's more so like, all I have is 8,000. If I give you 5, then I'll only have 3, or maybe, let's say all you have is 5 and you'll be at 0. It sounds like a bad idea with the scarcity mindset, because what you're thinking is, I have this money. I want to hold on to this money. Holding this money is the most important thing. And you don't think about getting to your goal of 20,000 a month faster, because in your mind, holding on to the money is the most important thing. So let me show you how that works out for most entrepreneurs. I've seen it time and time again. I've heard it from coach and coach again, and it has proven to be a consistent thing that things usually work out in this way. So you started off with your $8,000, and then let's say a year passes. In that year, now you're down to about $50 and you still haven't hit your 20K a month goal. How does this happen? Well, while you're trying to figure things out on your own in business, your business expenses still come around. Maybe you spent money on the wrong things because you didn't know that you shouldn't spend money on this service or this resource versus using this one or that one. And you ultimately, while trying to figure things out, just made some mistakes and didn't make the right decisions, or just time passed and what you have to pay to operate your business was enough to dwindle down that money and you didn't make enough coming in order to grow your money versus it just diminishing over time. So now you held on to your 8,000, but at the end of the year, you still don't have more than that 8,000 and you still haven't hit your goals. So what can we learn from this? Keeping that $8,000 costs you $20,000 a month. So you're thinking you're saving money by not paying $5,000 to the coach or whoever it might be, but you're actually not saving $5,000. You're costing yourself $20,000 because not having access to that information and experience that this person already had to get them past $20,000 a month, not having access to that information costs you the money that you would have been making had you just got access to the information. And it's not just costing you $20,000 a month, it's also cost you a year of the life that you wanted. So you spent the whole year still living life how it currently was, which apparently if you were trying to start a business, you were trying to get to a better life, a better quality of life, more income coming in to do more things for yourself, your spouse, your family. What you really did by holding on to your money is cost yourself a year worth of time of your life that you could have had that information and already be walking out that better life that you wanted to have. So the opportunity cost here is, if I make this decision, what am I giving up on and what am I not getting? That's how you should really look at things in business. If I do this, what is this going to cost me? If I do this, what is this going to cost me? And is the reward of what either is going to cost me more worth it than the other? In entrepreneurship, running a business, all of this stuff is more risky than other things, but it's also more rewarding than other things. And you can't sit back and be afraid. If you're scared to take risks, it can severely hinder you in business and in your business's growth. You just have to take calculated risks versus just jumping off the porch and doing whatever random thought comes to your head. Those calculated risks will lead you to better results, but you have to reprogram your thinking to look at these opportunity costs and not just be focused on holding on to something versus what will this return on my investment be? So going back to those last few things that ChatGPT listed as mindset issues that cause financial issues. We can see fear of selling and rejection. Of course, if you're in a business where you have to sell things and you're scared to sell because you're scared of rejection, well, you're automatically getting rejected and you're not bringing more money into your business. And of course, that will cause your business to suffer because no money is coming in. We already talked about the lack of adaptability and stubbornness. When you want to hold on to your mindset, hold on to your current beliefs, hold on to your current way of thinking, your current strategies, those things hold you back financially in your business. And another big one is lone wolf mentality, not seeking help. You can see here, trying to do everything alone is a common mistake. Many new business owners resist asking for mentorship, networking, or outsourcing tasks, meaning having someone else to do your marketing, having someone else to answer the phones for your business, just thinking that you need to have hands-on in everything when you're trying to grow the business. And that's usually what leaves businesses stagnant. But successful entrepreneurs surround themselves with the right people for guidance and support, because there are people that are already experts in what you're trying to do or what you're trying to learn. In entrepreneurship, time is a very important thing. Your time is very valuable. People that have high net worths or are high earning value their time more than they value their money. They will spend money so that they can have an expert to do something for them versus spending the time that it's going to take to learn what somebody already knows, because they know they have to not only take their time to do that, but they could have been doing something that could have made them more money or made them more wealth or more profitable within that time that it took them to learn something that somebody already knows how to do. And they'd rather pay somebody else to do that, or in the business, train somebody on how to do something in their business and pay them to do it so that they can use their time more wisely or for things that they just want to do. But again, that not getting mentorship, not getting coaches, that makes it take longer for you to get to your end desired results, because you could have gotten that information and figured out whatever the problem is way quicker than you would learn it on your own. So we've talked about the mindset and how the mindset affects finances. But now let's talk about some of those main financial failures that will actually cause the business failure. We can see here cash flow issues is number one. A staggering 82% of small businesses fail due to cash flow problems. And a lot of the things that we talked about can lead to those cash flow problems. And cash flow is you not making enough money to cover whatever expenses that you have in your business. And maybe that's closer to zero, or maybe it's only a few dollars. Either way, your business is usually kind of stagnant at that point, and it can't grow because there's not enough extra cash there to pay for the growth within your business. And basically, if one mistake, one error happens because you don't have no freed cash there, you don't have any money put to the side, that can lead to instant failure in your business because you don't have the money to cover keeping the operations going. For number two, it has lack of market demand. 42% of small businesses fail because there is no market need for their products or services. It's really a matter of knowing if whatever it is that you offer is something good that people are looking for, or a service that people actually need, which you would know if you see other people paying money for it. But number three is running out of cash. 38% of businesses fail because they run out of capital. So like I showed you in the example, you holding on to whatever money you have. Maybe there's not enough money coming in your business. There's low cash flow. And then all of a sudden, non-2 starts to diminish. And then again, maybe your revenue isn't up high enough. You don't have enough new people coming in. You don't have enough growth happening in your business. And then whatever cash you are holding on to is just going to dwindle down until there's no money left. And then there's nothing else that you can do. And a little bit over 1 out of every 3 businesses fail from that. This is why getting extra capital in your business, and ideally having that capital in the form of business credit, where it is not reporting to your personal credit, so you can use it as much as you want to without hindering your personal credit. And you can have access to that money, which is usually going to be in higher amounts than on the personal side, because this is business credit. Having that money there to operate your business gives you the freedom to not use your own cash, not use your personal income, not use your personal credit, and still be able to run your operations for your business, still be able to fund growth for your business, to pay employees, to get inventory, to get discounts because you can order inventory in bulk. If you're in real estate, you can control the financing of your projects without having to do hard money lending. or having to meet certain terms and requirements of a hard money lender, because you already have access to your own capital to use. And if you need help in actually securing funding for your business, as little as 50,000 to 100,000 and up for your business, and you want to get access to that money on average within the next 30 days, then go down below to the description, book a funding strategy session with me so I can look at your situation and see how I can help you secure the funds that you need to be able to grow your business, so that you don't have to worry about cash flow issues, so that you don't have to worry about running out of cash, and you don't have to worry about tanking your personal credit score by using your personal credit cards to operate your business. Again, the link to that is down below in the description. Now, look, at the beginning, I mentioned how there are several changes coming economically that are going to change and affect how things are going in the economy, that will affect you on a personal and business level. If you want to learn more about those changes that are coming so that you can be prepared for them, then go ahead and check out this video, or check out this video which YouTube thinks you might actually like. And I'll see you in the next one.